Luxury lounge complaint. My engagement ring is too big.
I love this so much. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm writing this down.
That's the subject line. That's incredible.
That is the subject line. I love this woman
go off,
so
queen.
much. She writes, talk about a first world problem. See, you don't have to explain yourself. You're in the lounge.
I know, but we all feel the need to. It's just, I'm
we'll get
getting used to this.
We're getting used to it. It's new. I get it. Most girls, myself included, dream of having a giant bougie rock on their hand. Well, I got engaged about 2 months ago, and I love my ring, but I feel guilty wearing it. I work with low-income families, and I can't help but feel bad wearing this thing when around them. I even take it off when I get my nails done because I don't want people judging me. I can't help but feel that friends, family, and strangers alike are thinking I'm that rich, spoiled, or high maintenance. My fiance worked really hard to save up for it and exceeded my expectations in a ring. I truly love it, and I want to show it off, but I also don't want to feel like a show-off. What a first world pickle. Thanks for having the space to voice such a luxury complaint. LOL. Ashley, what do we think? I feel for her. This is horrible. Would you call this now? I said it was a billionaire problem before we started, but what would you call it?
We don't. I mean, it's millionaire plus. But
I think it's a millionaire problem.
But also, she might not be a millionaire. Like, it sounds like that she didn't buy the ring. Okay, I want to know what she does. I mean, when it comes to money and flaunting wealth, which is a giant diamond on your hand, like, let's be serious. Like, or it's a handbag, it's whatever. Like, I mean, I think maybe you do read the room a little bit. Like, I don't know what she does for work, but if she's actually kind of working with low income families and the like theme of her work is low income people, I wouldn't feel comfortable having a giant diamond on my hand. I mean, to me, that's not a situation of like, sorry, it's just kind of like, do they need to,
Well, then people judge you on whether you can relate to them based on this ring. So if you're working with interpersonal things, whatever, low income, high income, whether it's just anything interpersonal, can you relate? To me, it's the equivalent of going on stage to do stand up and wearing a Rolex. Like, people see that.
I do.
But people would say, okay, there are certain jokes that don't work based on that Rolex. They see the whole picture in the same way where I'm saying she might work in an industry where it's like, I have to counsel people. If you're the counselor and someone looks to you and goes, look at that fat ring, how could you relate? You must be happy. Like, that actually hurts your job. And I would understand not wearing it because you're like, how can I be a professional with this on my finger? But I would also say from the other end, the person judging you for it is really not doing it fairly because the ring is given to you. Just like you said, it's a gift. So just because it was given to you doesn't mean that life is automatically easy.
Right. Yeah. I'm curious, it's always like, whatever, we have the information that we have, but I'd be curious to know like more if the work is surrounding the fact that these families don't have money. And then it just feels a little like, or is it just kind of like, so
what's going on at home?
Right.
Hey, oops, just fixing my hair.
It's, I don't know if I'll ever, get engaged, get married. I don't want a big diamond. I don't want really, it's not for me.
So I have a question for you, Ashley, based on this. Is there such, like, this person, their email comes from a good place. It doesn't sound like they're like this billionaire couple.
The fact that she's thinking about it is really nice.
Totally. And it sounds like the guy was like, it was important to the guy to give a big ring. This was important to him. If this was important to your fiance, is there ever a day where you go, listen, this is great, but I want that ring later in life and not early in life. Can we chop 10 grand off of this and be more modest? Is that ever a thought?
I have unconventional thoughts surrounding engagements and marriages. So and every relationship is different. If someone handed me a giant diamond, they wouldn't know me at all. And I would be like, I'm not wearing that. Like, this is not, so I don't know where you got this idea, but, and then it just feels very like a guy marking his property. And then, like I want to,
especially when it's a big one, you go, I gotta let people know.
But then some women want that. So no shade,
sure, that's true.
I just can't speak on it. Like, if you feel uncomfortable with this gift that your fiance, you're not forced to do anything in life. Like, this man gave you a ring. It's kind of crazy to be like, well, I hate it and I hate what it says about me, but I gotta wear it, but that's not her case.
Yeah,
she likes it. But, also you hear it, the engagement ring thing, like the more you take it on and off, the more you could lose it. So it's kind of like, it is the ring you're supposed to wear all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I understand her problem, I guess.
Well, I do understand the problem. It's definitely a problem. There's no question. This is a huge issue.
Issue.
What I would also say, who could you tell? Hit the music. Who could you tell about this?
I am ready to speak on this. So this is a thing that women, men, anybody knows exactly who they can tell, and it's someone that is in the same type of boat. Like I was talking to a girlfriend recently. She's single, and she was hanging out with some other girlfriends who were married, and they just wouldn't shut up about their money and their husband's money, and it was just, and she's kind of dealing with some stuff on her own where she's struggling a little bit, and she was like, it felt so. Well, shut up. Like, I don't talk about it amongst yourselves. Like, they
bring it to the luxury lounge.
They weren't reading the room on it. I feel like they were kind of not respecting her. Like, I think we all know exactly who we can talk to that about. Like, she might have 5 friends at the country club that she knows exactly that can feel her pain on this, or she might not have anybody, She can never tell this to a single person. It can only be told to she could tell
engaged or married people. She can tell you, but I wouldn't feel safe. You just don't know. She can only tell this to married people who are, if you have a ring on the finger, you can tell it to them. And you can only tell it to people with big rings. You can only hang out with the big ring community and let them know, hey, do you ever feel like embarrassed? And I'm sure this is an issue that the big ring community is going, I hide it here and I put it here. I've actually bring around with me a retainer case to keep it in. Whenever I'm in the car, I put it in the glove compartment in the retainer case. Who goes into a retainer case? That's how I keep it safe. Like, I think that's the group she could tell it to. She can't tell it to her single sister. She can't tell it to her married sister. I don't think you can tell it to family. You can't tell this to a stranger. There is not one stranger that you could ever admit this to.
The low income family. She's like, guys, I'm so sorry. I know this is so obnoxious, but like, I just, you get it.
The muscles on my hand are worn down from the heftiness of the ring. I just, what type of social work do you need me to do? So yeah. Now let's go to the final category. Can you relate? Hit the music. Can you relate? Is there something in your life that you feel you can't wear all the time, or you only can wear certain things in good company, so to speak?
So I think, you mentioned the Rolex during comedy.
Sure.
I have a Rolex. It's kind of a family thing, but whatever. It's not important. It's not like a $20,000 watch by any stretch. I have a Rolex. I'm proud of it. I also I'm not trying to hide that I don't make money. So I think a lot of people in comedy want to be like, I'm poor and I'm just, like, I know people that hide their money. Like, I know people that have that are rich it's like a secret,
This happens all the time and it's hilarious. They sound like the 40-year-old virgin when he's talking about, it's always funny when a comedian has money and they talk about being poor like they're the 40-year-old virgin talking about all the sex he's had. And they're like, oh my God, can you believe? And I took an Uber X. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, right.
But
okay.
I wouldn't I think I read the room on stuff. If I was going to go do charity work, I wouldn't grab the YSL bag. You know what I mean? So I think
leave it at home.
Like those things, I'm think about this a lot. I think about money a lot, and I don't, the way I come off, and I want to read the room on stuff. So I have some stuff that I wouldn't bring to a certain thing.
Absolutely. I talk about my weight on stage a lot, and I had to start writing jokes because I've started losing some weight. So you have to write jokes about hey, I know you might not think of me as a fat person.
Right.
I also know that some of you might not think of me as a skinny person. So, but I also do believe that's a relatable place to be with your body, where you go, not, you don't have to be overweight to be insecure about your body. Like that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to remind people of that by having a joke that's like, hey, you may think this, but this is how I feel, and that's why I'm making jokes about it. So I totally understand of like, how does this look and sound to people?
Yeah, I'm not trying to act like I don't think about it. You know what I mean? I think we all think about it, and
I think
it's like telling a joke and being like, I've never kind of played this like, whatever. Yeah, I wear my Rolex to do comedies.
That's right. Don't forget to like the video you just watched. I have many more. Subscribe to the channel right now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, you fool. There's even a bell you can click to. Now you've got your week set Monday through Friday. I'm here for you.